Councillor Carrington.
Thank you very much indeed, Chairman, and can I add my congratulations on your appointment to what I'm sure will be a very successful chairmanship. Chairman, members, I move the amendment as set out in the order of proceedings. It's a memorable Friday morning, this, the start of a new council term, and for many people in the chamber, the start of their role as councillors. But I'm reminded of another Friday, not so very long ago. It was the afternoon. I was with other councillors in a Teams meeting, and one by one, phone calls came in and people started dropping out. And then I took a phone call, and I dropped out of the meeting. And the phone calls were about flooding, and of course that was the Friday, as you will remember, Chairman, when Storm Babette struck. For my part, I went down to the nearby village of Hayington in my waterproofs, and I was there really deep into the night and for most of the next 3 days. We saw the school flooded out. We saw homes flooded out. We saw businesses flooded out. Damaged properties, damaged lives. The high street was a river, the sound of pumps and the sound of crying. And I share that memory to underline that this is not a dry constitutional debate. This is about lives and livelihoods. It's about hopes and fears and expectations of our residents. Now, everybody's seen the amendment. It was circulated in advance. I'm really just going to make 3, hopefully fairly brief points as to why I think the Flood and Water Management Committee, which I'll refer to as F&W, should be retained. First, it brings people and bodies and organisations together. That's one of the big problems dealing with flood risk, the disparate nature of all the different organisations involved in it. It was a unique, and still is at the moment, a unique lens to focus efforts and for LCC to exercise leadership. Dealing with worsening flooding isn't just about finance and technical solutions, challenging though those are. It's also about getting a web of complex relationships to work better. Those relationships were forged and sustained in F&W, and abolishing it will massively reduce this council's influence and silence the voices of others which should be heard. Second, it was an active, not a passive committee. Flood risk is changing, and the way we deal with it also needs to change. For example, the Storm Impact Report produced by F&W had the authority to bring all the necessary witnesses and the skill to produce an action plan to deliver change for our residents. And thirdly, flowing on from that, expertise. That committee was a focus both from members and from officers, a unique repository of knowledge, experience, contacts built up over the years, but here's the point, resulting in better outcomes. Experts, government ministers, regional authorities, they all respected F&W, they contributed to its efforts. And now, Chairman, we're in a situation where all of this is apparently to be thrown away. And I have to ask the Chamber, why? For what benefit? We will lose focus and priority on an area which is of vital interest to our residents. It will weaken coordination and it will undermine hard-won public trust. Now, this is a political organisation, and Reform has won an absolute majority in this chamber. It can force through what it wants to force through. But just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And by definition, our new members have not had the opportunity to spend much time digging into and understanding the role of this council as lead local flood authority, or indeed the part played by the Flood and Water Management Committee. So I ask, why the rush? Surely it would make more sense to keep it at least temporarily and take time to understand more deeply the actions and benefits and potential of that committee. Chairman, as I said at the start, this is not a simple matter of constitutional change, it's about people's lives. And this council's proud record of helping them, protecting them, and trying to build a better future. F&W has already embarked on that task through the Flood Impact Report in particular, and abolishing it in the middle of its work will, I believe, send a dire message to the very people who have suffered so badly from flooding in the past and who look to us, not for sound bites, but for detailed programs of action to protect them from the scourge of flooding. I don't think the people of Lincolnshire, Chairman, will understand what is proposed today, and so I move the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Carrington.